Yo, what's going on, guys? Joey Sugarbuck is back here with another video for you guys. And today, guys, I'm hyped for a couple reasons. First of all, a lot of you guys contributed to part 2 for NFL questions from followers and subscribers. I got like 11 or 12 to answer today. So thank you guys so much for that. And it happens to be my last day of school today. So I'm hyped, man. Summer vacation is coming up, and I can't wait for it. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this. I got quite a bit of them, so we're going to try and speed it up a little bit, but we'll do our best. So I'll do my best, I should say. First question comes in from jcraw412 or at Josh on Twitter, asking how well will Devon Bush do this year for stat predictions as well. So Devon Bush, in case you guys do not know, middle linebacker for the Steelers, coming off a great rookie year. So how well will he do this year? I don't really see any reason that he'll do any worse because he has such a great supporting cast on that defense. And that doesn't mean he's overrated. I'm just saying that, like, even if he doesn't do that well, it won't affect the Steelers defense that much unless he's, like, really, really bad because they have such a good defense. Great defensive line, great secondary. The Steelers have it all. So in terms of Devon Bush, I think he's going to do really well. Why? It's just another year of him getting used to the program. He's very fast. He knows the game. I don't see any reason why he would not do well. So I predict that he will do very well this year. Stat predictions are not my forte, but I'll do my best. Also, he'll get, like, we'll say 40 tackles to 7 interceptions, maybe 2 or 3 forced fumbles, and maybe a couple sacks. I mean, he doesn't usually blitz that much, but in case. So yeah, that's my best bet for stat predictions as of now for Devon Bush. Again, not great at predicting stats, but I definitely think that Devon Bush will do a very nice job this year with the Steelers, building off of how well he did last year. Next question. We got a lot of questions from the same person, but that's all good. I'm just trying to load everything here. But, next question. Sorry, I had a little internet issue here. But next question. We have kind of a lot of questions coming from the same person, but it comes from my man A Realist on Twitter again. So check out his account at A Realist. Go ahead and give him a follow. First question. Who would you rather have between Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes? So that's kind of hard to say because it really depends on the offense you want to run. So if you're wondering, okay, who would work better on the Chiefs between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson? That's obviously Patrick Mahomes because the Chiefs' game plan on offense is throw bombs essentially every play. That doesn't mean that they're easy to figure out because they're not. They have such a great receiving core and a great quarterback and a very good coach. So that's kind of the Chiefs' game plan. They don't run the ball much, right? They don't almost at all. They throw it like at least 80% of the time, and they usually go deep. So when it comes to the Chiefs, I would certainly rather have Patrick Mahomes because he is certainly a better thrower than Lamar Jackson. I don't think you can really argue that. But if I want to build an offense like the Ravens and run the ball a lot, I'm going to take Lamar Jackson because he's a bigger running threat than Patrick Mahomes. Not saying Mahomes isn't a running threat. He is, and he's getting better and better at it. But Lamar Jackson is still the bigger running threat. He's better at eluding defenders when it comes to running the ball, like juking guys, and he could get the job done. So if you want to have a lot of short passing game and just pounding the rock, I would take Lamar Jackson. But when it comes to skill-wise, just if I had to pick who would I take, probably Patrick Mahomes because he's the better quarterback, but it could go both ways. Next question, again, coming from A Realist. Will the Lions ever win in the postseason again? I don't know. That's hard to say because the Lions have the most underrated quarterback in the NFL, Matthew Stafford. Don't even try. He is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. But will they ever win in the postseason? I don't think so because they just have no one. Besides Stafford, Kenny Galladay is good, but other than that, they don't really have anyone. I guess Kerryon Johnson's okay, but they have a terrible coach. Matt Patricia is dog crap. And the only good defender that they have now is Trey Flowers. Did they get rid of Trey Flowers? I think Trey Flowers they still have, but they also traded away Darius Slay, which is not good. So, they did get Jamie Collins, but he's not really any good. I think he's been really overrated, truthfully. And he's not that good. He's certainly over the hill. So, Lions, will they ever... Now, again... Will they win in the postseason again? Ever? Probably. But will they win in the postseason anytime soon, or at least even make it to the playoffs? unlikely. I don't see any reason why they would make it. Matthew Stafford's really good, but he can only do so much, especially with a terrible coach. I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to say no, I do not think the Lions will win in the postseason for at least the next 5 years, but we'll see. Next question, again, coming from a realist. Will the Bills win the AFC East? So, yes, I think the Bills will. Why? Because the Patriots are starting to go downhill. Lost Brady. Edelman's getting old. He's not even that good. Their defense is good. Adam Butler's good. Lawrence Guy's good. But they lost Kyle Van Noy, and that's a big loss. Some people may not say it's that big of a loss, but I think it's a huge loss. Losing Jamie Collins is not that big of a loss because he's not that good. But Kyle Van Noy was a great edge rusher. I don't really know why they got rid of him. Their secondary is really good, though. Stephon Gilmore, the best cornerback in the league. Great, Devin McCourty, Jason McCourty, and Patrick Chung. But the problem is, those guys are getting old. The McCourty brothers are getting old. Patrick Chung is getting reasonably old. Lawrence Guy's neutral. I guess Adam Butler's not that old. Adam Butler's pretty good, but their defense is good. Don't get me wrong, but it is getting a little bit old. So, and I'm worried about that. And the Patriots' offense is probably going to get worse and worse. I mean, they lost Brady, and although Brady didn't have a good year, and Jarrett Stidham, I thought that they should trade for a quarterback, but it does not look like they're going to. They're going to rock with Jarrett Stidham, apparently. And, do I think he'll do... I kind of talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but I don't see the Patriots really being that good. So, that being said, I do think Buffalo will win the division. Why? Because they're the youngest team. Well, the Dolphins and the Jets, I guess, are pretty young, but they're not really worth it because they're not really any good. The Jets could be decent, but I don't think so. And the Dolphins are just another 5-11, 6-10 team. But the Bills, Josh Allen is not very good, but I do think that he'll get better and better, and he should, because he's got a great coach. Sean McDermott's an excellent coach. He's got a great defense, and the receiving core is very good. Stephon Diggs, John Brown, and Cole Beasley, who's just average, but he's still a solid slot guy. And a great, again, rookies, you don't want to, you don't want to have them throw you off. But Devin Singletary had a very good rookie year, and I expect it to keep going. The only problem is their offensive line is not very good besides Mitch Morse. It's not great. But as long as they keep the offensive line relatively decent, they don't do anything stupid, I think that the Bills will be good this year as long as Josh Allen can continue to improve. He was not great last year. But the biggest thing about Josh Allen, here's one thing. I don't want to talk too much about Lamar Jackson in this video because it's about the Bills. But so many people say, oh, Lamar Jackson, he's going to get hurt. He needs to stop. He needs to take better care of himself. He needs to slide more. I've watched Josh Allen play, and he is the one who needs to take better care of himself. He's taken way too many hits, does not throw the ball away enough, and tries to hurdle defenders. What is he doing? He does not play. He's not exactly very smart. He doesn't play very smart. But again, it was his second year, his first a legitimate year as a starter. I do think he will get better, but I'm just saying he has to take better care of himself for sure. But will the Bills? So that being said, the Bills, yes, I do think they'll win the AFC East. Probably go maybe 10-6, 11-5, pretty much the same as last year. But I do think they'll make a little bit of a deeper run than they did last year as well. Next question comes from A Realist again. This question is a little bit hard to answer. To what extent will home field advantage be impacted by the coronavirus? Or COVID-19, whatever you guys want to call it. So I think what he's trying to ask is if there's empty stadiums to start the game, or the game, but to start the season 2, which I am very confident that the stadiums will be empty to start. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So will the home field advantage be affected? Because a lot of times they're okay, the Bills are at home, so I think they're gonna win this game. But if you take fans out of the picture, it definitely changes things. Obviously, one team has to travel, the other team just can stay home. Okay, but the fans make a big difference, and without the crowd noise, I don't know. I think that, yes, I do think that there will be a pretty big impact, especially at the stadiums that are really hard to play in if you're on the road team. So Gillette, Seattle, and Arrowhead is the other one. So I think they will be affected sincerely, but it's a little bit hard to dig deep in answering this question because we don't know. Like the NFL could get canceled. It could not start on time. Could be abbreviated. Could be completely normal. Could start with empty stadiums, which I think it'll start on time with empty stadiums. That seems like a good bet as of now. But assuming that it starts off with empty stadiums, I do think the home field advantage won't be that effective, with the exception of not having to travel and being better at your home field. Next question, again, a realist, asking, what team do you expect to surprise people this season? And I have the answer right there. The Browns. I can't believe I'm saying this because I hate the Browns. I've never liked them, but the Browns are going to surprise people this year. People are saying that they're going to be another 6-10, 7-9 team, which was the case last year, but no. The Browns are going to be I should say really good, but they're going to be good this year. Why? They had a sneaky good offseason. They got Jack Conklin, who's at least a solid right tackle, so that's an improvement on the offensive line. They also got Austin Hooper, who is a little bit overrated, but he gets the job done. Austin Hooper's at least a good tight end. And they also have David Njoku. The problem is Njoku's always hurt, but he's decent, and we could get the job done. Receiving core is inconsistent. Jarvis Landry's inconsistent, as well as Odell Beckham, but they're at least solid, and they have a very underrated defense. Myles Garrett coming back after his suspension. Denzel Ward's very good. Morgan Burnett's at least decent. I forget the guy's first name, but Ogunjobi, I think, who also, I think, got maybe suspended for a game or two after that fight with the Steelers. I don't know, but I think it's Larry Ogunjobi. He's pretty good. Good defensive lineman. So the Browns are being slept on. So the team that I expect to surprise people this season, definitely Cleveland. I think they're going to be a 10-6, 11-5 team. Definitely think they're going to be good. In terms of Baker Mayfield, he should just get better. I know I said that last year and he wasn't very good, but I do think he'll have at least a solid year. And then they have Nick Chubb, who is the most underrated running back in the league. Well, not in the league, but he's a very underrated running back, and he's really, really good. So, Browns, I try to surprise people this year. Next question comes from, let's see here. I'm going to split it here. I'm trying to find it. Okay, yeah. Next question comes from Owen Anastas. He's asking, so I partially answered this. What do you think, thoughts on fans in stadiums? So, will fans even be in on stadiums? What should they do? So, you obviously wish that it'd be so smooth. You could just say, okay, limited capacity, fans have to stay 6 feet apart. But there's so many of them, so you can't count on them to do that. So unfortunately, I don't think they'll be able to do a limited capacity. In restaurants and stuff, it's a little bit different. They can kind of keep a limited capacity, but in professional sports stadiums, that's not the case. It's really hard to keep everyone 6 feet apart. So I don't see that happening. And masks can help, but they can only do so much, right? So I definitely think that the season, I do think it'll start on time, but I definitely expect it to be empty stadiums, no fans. But you just wonder, how long is that going to last? I think that's really what the person is asking here. How long, will it last? Excuse me. So again, we don't know. It's hard to answer that because you don't know what the virus is going to do. But the problem is, a lot of hints are saying that it's really starting to back off right now, at least in the United States, and especially in the eastern United States. It's starting to back off, and you would think, oh, okay, so we should be good. But a lot of hints are saying that there's going to be a big backlash. So it may back off in the summer, but then maybe come back as I said, a backlash. So again, it's so hard to predict that, but that's just something to keep in mind. So I do think fans in stadiums are not going to be a thing. And I shouldn't even say this about just football. I think baseball is supposed to start in the summer. Definitely empty stadiums. I don't think there's any question in that, any doubt in that. Let's see. NBA, empty stadiums. They've already arranged that. They've officially confirmed, I think, empty stadiums. So yeah, I definitely think empty stadiums throughout the summer, and we'll see what happens when the fall comes. But I would expect it to be empty for a good while. Next question comes in from, let's see, this one comes in from JKE Weather. I think he had one last week too, wondering standings for each division. So, one thing I'm not very good at with the football guys is divisions. I can't remember them for my life. So we're going to pull them up right now, and he's asking for standings for each division. We'll start with the NFC because I like the AFC better, so we'll end on a good note. So first division, NFC East: Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, and Redskins. Who's going to win the division? I would say this one's pretty clear. I think Dallas is going to win the division pretty easily. Why? Because they did lose Byron Jones. That's not good. But I also think they did lose Travis Frederick also, but they have a solid offensive line, a quarterback that can get the job done. Now, he's asking for way too much money, Dak Prescott, but he can get the job done. And their defense is improving, I should say. DeMarcus Lawrence, again, I can't get over it. They did lose Byron Jones, and that does hurt. But Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, they have a solid defense. Jeff Heath, I think. I'm not sure if he's still there, but it's solid at the safety position. But anyways, I think the Cowboys certainly will win this. Why? The Eagles are going to get worse and worse. They have been scrappy for a long time, but I do expect the Eagles to kind of get worse and worse. And again, Carson Wentz is good, but he's always hurt, and he can only do so much. They do have a great coach, but again, the coach can only do so much. So, Giants are going to be terrible, as always. Redskins are going to be mediocre. I think Dwayne Haskins might do a little bit better this year than he did last year, but I don't expect the Redskins to be that good. Another just like 5-11, 6-10 team. So I do think the Cowboys will win this division. I'm not going to do record predictions for everyone yet, but I would guess maybe like 11-5 for the Cowboys, maybe 10-6, and the Cowboys take the division. Next division, NFC North. We get the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. So Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. Who's going to win this division? This one is a little bit tougher, actually, because the Bears, probably not. They had one good year, but although their defense is good, their defense can only do so much. Their offense is kind of trash besides Allen Robinson and Tariq Cohen, but they have no quarterback. Well, Nick Foles, I don't know. I don't think Nick Foles is that good, truthfully, and I think he's over the hill. And I guess they still have Trubisky, but he's no use. Lions, as I mentioned, they're just gonna be trash. No need to hype them up. It's down to the Packers and the Vikings, I think. So, Green Bay drafted Jordan Love, kind of a little wake-up call to Aaron Rodgers. And here's the thing. People are saying, oh my God, Rodgers is going to pop out this year because he knows that his career is on the line or his starting spot is on the line. He's going to be like, I'm the man. I need to pop off here. And like he's going to be really dedicated and motivated to do it. Some people say that he hasn't really been motivated to in the past couple of years, which I can see. But at the same time, I do feel like people have also said, oh, like he said this oh, I'm the man. I'm going to pop off this year. Like I need to start playing better. And he does. But he said that in the past couple years, and he hasn't exactly gotten any better. So I'm a little bit skeptical with Aaron Rodgers. But the good thing about the Packers, they have a very good defense, and it's young. So Darius Smith coming off the best year of his career. The year that he had last year was absolutely incredible. They also have Preston Smith, Kenny Clark. Secondary is not great. It's okay. Kevin King is inconsistent. Let's see what else. They have Adrian Amos, who's, again, decent. But their secondary is not as good as their defensive line. Their defensive line is certainly their strength here. Oh, and Tramon Williams in the secondary, who I don't think is that good. He's not nearly as good as people say he is. He thinks he's so good, but he's just average. So when it comes to the Vikings, I think the Vikings are going to be the division winners this year. They did lose Stephon Diggs, but they have a very good defense. Probably the best defensive line in the league, I would say. You have, let's see, Danielle Hunter, Everson Griffin, Anthony Barr. They have such a good defensive line. And I think they did lose Linval Joseph, but Danielle Hunter is very, very good. Secondary is, their safeties are good. Safety is good. Harrison Smith, and Anthony Harris is good. So their secondary safety, I should say, is good. Their corners are not that good. Xavier Rhodes was kind of trash last year, and I think they got rid of him. Trey Waynes is decent, but he can only do so much, and he's not really a number one corner. But I think regardless, I think the Vikings are going to be able to pull out the division here. Not with ease, but I do think they'll be able to pull it out. I think the Packers will be like a wild card team. Vikings could be like a 2 or 3 seed. We'll see. That might be a little bit high. But we will see what happens. That being said, I'm going to take the Vikings to win the division. And yeah, Cowboys are the NFC East, if you guys forgot. NFC South. This we don't really, well, actually, yes, we do. I take it back. Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks. Let's just, sorry, video's already getting a little bit long. Let's avoid the Falcons and the Panthers. We both know they're trash. No, they are not even close to being to win the division. So we're not gonna really talk about them that much. Down to the Saints and the Bucks. The Bucks, obviously, getting so much hype because they got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski comes out of his retirement. So they got Gronk too. And they also have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So their offense is really looking good. Their offensive line, I don't really know much about their offensive line. I know Ryan Jensen is pretty good, the center. I think they still have him. He used to be on Baltimore, Ryan Jensen. But I don't think their offensive line is decent. Their defense, their run defense is pretty good, I think. Vita Vea, who else do they got? I don't really, let's see, Vita Vea, and they have, no, I was going to say Chandler Jones. No, he's on the Cardinals. But regardless, I don't really know much about their defense, but I know Vita Vea is pretty good. Their run defense is at least decent. I don't know if they still have Levante David. They might, but regardless, defense is not as good as their offense is predicted to be. But in terms of who I think is going to win the division, I don't know. I think, again, the Bucks are kind of getting overhyped, and some people are saying that they're going to be the Browns, they get really good in the offseason, and then the Browns get so hyped up, then they're a mega disappointment like they were last year. Will the Bucks be that way this year? I don't know. I think they're going to be a wild card contender. Don't think they're going to be quite as good as people are saying they're going to be. But Tom Brady should do better with finally a good offense, good receivers, and a good tight end, barring he's still good after coming out of his retirement. Saints haven't really changed that much, I don't think. They got still have, of course, Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara should be healthy this year. Drew Brees. Yeah, the Saints haven't changed that much. Their defense is also pretty good. Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, Cameron Jordan. Their defense is solid. It didn't play well in the wild card, but overall it's pretty good. So I don't think that, I think it's going to be close, but I am going to take the Saints here to win the division. I'm going to take the Saints. We'll say, Saints will go like 12-4, 12-4, 11-5. Bucks will be a sneaky, maybe 9-7, 8-8 team. But since that there's a 7th seed available now, I do think they'll sneak into the wild card and then kind of get blown out by the top seed. NFC West, Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks, and Rams. So this is going to be a close one because the Cardinals, actually, all 4 teams here have potential. The Cardinals are kind of getting hyped up because they got DeAndre Hopkins, but their defense is still not great. Chandler Jones is good, but Patrick Peterson is kind of over the hill. He's still decent, but their defense is kind of meh. But the Niners, I think, are gonna be good for a long time. Garoppolo will get the job done. Seattle should be another 10-6, 11-5 team. Now, LA, of course, had a down year last year, but I do think they're gonna be better. Goff got way too much hate for a terrible offensive line last year besides Andrew Whitworth. I do expect the Rams to be better this year. Got rid of Gurley, still have a decent defense. So I think the Rams will be maybe a 9-7 team, a little bit better than last year. Still, though, not as good as they were in 2018. But I still think they'll be like a maybe 9-7, maybe 10-6 if I'm stretching it. I still am going to take the Niners to win the division here. I think that although Jimmy Garoppolo is a very meh quarterback, or average, I should say, their defense is excellent and young. They did lose DeForest Buckner, but they still have Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, so it's pretty good. Fred Warner, Richard Sherman coming off a very good year. It was a renaissance year for him. Not sure if he'll still be good this year, but we'll see. Seattle, though, I still am a little bit skeptical. I mean, their offense is decent besides their offensive line. Chris Carson is good besides fumbling issues. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett's decent, a little bit inconsistent, and of course Russell Wilson. So their offense is solid, but their defense kind of sucks, truthfully. Besides Jadeveon Clowney and what's his name, Bobby Wagner, who's getting a little bit old, but he's still really good. I don't think that I don't think that the Seattle's defense is that good. It was kind of bad last year. I don't think it really got any better. And we don't know if they're going to have Devon Bush. He might stay with Seattle because he's asking for so much money, but he might try to go for another team. The Browns apparently gave him a huge offer, and he declined it. He is a very picky man. But I'm going to take the Niners to win this one. All right, got to speed this up a little bit because we still have a couple more questions to get through. AFC East, I actually went over this. Bills winning the division. AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. Bengals, not going to hype them up, 5-11, 6-10 team. But the Browns and the Steelers and the Ravens are definitely willing to talk about. My opinion hasn't changed. I'm still predicting a big down year for the Ravens. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling, and I'm worried that once teams figure out what to do with Lamar Jackson, I'm not sure that he's going to be able to adapt to that. Mahomes was able to do that. I'm not sure Lamar Jackson is going to be able to. So I think the Ravens' offense will be kind of meh this year. I shouldn't say meh, but it'll still be decent, but not nearly as good as it was last year. Steelers should be good this year. Why? Again, great defense, very young. And again, Roethlisberger is not that good. People are overhyping him, but at the same time, if he just does not play absolutely horribly, the Steelers will be good. Because if he just needs to get the job done. They have the best offensive line in the league, in my opinion. Decent receiving core. Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and of course, Juju Smith-Schuster, who I think is certainly being overhyped as well. But James Conner, again, a little bit overrated, but he's still good. And again, he can just get the job done. That's all the Steelers need to do this year because, again, their defense is very, very good. So, who's going to win the division? I think the Steelers are going to take the division. I think it's going to be close between the Steelers and the Browns, but I am going to take the Steelers to win this division. I think there will be an 11-5 team, maybe 10-6 if I'm stretching it. But we'll see. Actually, I should say maybe 12-4 if I'm stretching it. But I think they'll be 11-5 or 10-6. Next division, AFC South. Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. Jesus, what a bore snore. All of these teams, actually, I shouldn't say all. 3 out of 4 of these teams, the Texans, Colts, and Jaguars are going to be absolute dog crap, especially the Jaguars, because they're in full rebuild mode. So I think the Jaguars are going to be, they'll be lucky if they get 3 wins, truthfully. Titans should be decent. Texans and Colts are going to be terrible. I shouldn't say terrible, but very, very mediocre. So I guess the Titans, I still think that if you stop Derrick Henry, they're toast. But their defense is good enough. I do think Ryan Tannehill is going to mature in the passing game a little bit more. A.J. Brown had a great rookie year. Adam Humphries, Corey Davis, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Khalif Raymond. So the Titans, I guess, will win the division. I don't think they're even going to be that good, but that division is so bad. And it's actually why they're going to be bad. Trade away DeAndre Hopkins. Don't understand why. For David Johnson. I know, guys. I know this talk is getting old, but if you're gonna trade DeAndre Hopkins, get your defense upgraded in return. You trade DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, maybe a couple draft picks as well, but David Johnson had one good year, and he has been absolute dog crap the past few years. And you don't even really need a running back. You have Lamar Miller. Is Lamar Miller still there? I think so. And you also have Carlos Hyde. So what is the point of trading for a running back? I just don't get what Bill O'Brien was doing. You traded away, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league. And their defense is not that good. J.J. Watt will be decent. Whitney Merciless is decent. Their secondary sucks. So, the Texans are going to be pretty bad this year. So, I guess I do predict the Titans to win the division, but I still don't think they're going to be that good. They're going to be a 9-7, 10-6 team, if that's even possible. Don't think the Titans will be great. And next team, the last division, guys, we got the Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers. Chargers are getting, however, hyped up. Really, I don't know why. I mean, they have a good defense. I think their defense is overhyped, but it's still good. Drafted Tyrod Taylor, of course, got rid of Phillip Rivers. They do have a good receiving core. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, if he can stay healthy, is decent. I think he's overhyped as well, but he's at least solid. Got rid of Melvin Gordon. Offensive line, Apparently they upgraded it. I don't really know much about their offensive line. I'm pretty sure they got rid of Russell Okung, but Chargers will be decent, maybe like an 8-8, 9-7 team. But I'm predicting the Chiefs. I think it's pretty obvious the Chiefs are going to feast on the division this year, as usual. So no need to talk about that much. Broncos and Raiders not going to be any good. I know the Broncos have Drew Lock, but people are hyping him up for no reason. He had one good game, I'm pretty sure, last year. Again, he'll be decent, but he's nothing special. And so therefore, I'm going to take the Chiefs here to win the division pretty easily. They'll be, again, another 11-5, 12-4 team. Maybe not quite as good as last year, but at least good enough to win the division. All right, that's it for that question. That took quite a while, huh? Next question. Let's see here. It comes in from a realist again. As this thing wants to load, we got, let's see here. Yep, here we go. It's because, again, coming in from a realist. Any chance Andy Dalton starts over Dak at any point this year? So, Andy Dalton will not start over Dak to start the year. But as the season progresses, if the Cowboys are not doing well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dalton gets the start over, what's his name, Dak Prescott. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Prescott will just get the job done, and the Cowboys will win the division. So, is there a chance it happens? Yes, but I don't think it's a very high one. Another question coming in from A Realist: is Breeze versus Brady the greatest QB matchup of all time? I mean, bro, we're going all time. I don't know. I don't really like to do all time stuff. The greatest QB matchup of all time? I don't know. But one thing that, I guess Brady versus Breeze, when they're in their prime, yeah, sure, probably. But not really my forte talking about all-time stuff. But I would say, yeah, it's up there, I guess, for the quarterback matchup. But of all time, I don't know. We'll see. And I believe that is it for questions from followers and subscribers this episode. But, guys, thank you all so much. I know this video was kind of long. So, if you did not get bored to death and you stayed for the whole video, appreciate it sincerely. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys again soon. The next episode, part 3, is going to be coming from, it's going to be coming on Wednesday. Actually, now that I think about it, I have one more question. Coming in from Colin Taylor and Nick Barrett, it was kind of like the same question. Is Joe Flacco still elite? I think they're kind of teasing me a little bit because they know I'm a huge Flacco fan. Is he elite? He was in 2014, 2012, back when he was in his prime. He is not anymore, unfortunately. He's kind of trash, unfortunately. I love Flacco, but no, he is not elite. I think that's pretty clear right now. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Part 3 will be coming on Wednesday of next week. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys then.